Hey Martha, what's up? Just wanted to let you know I'm getting married.
Excuse me? You, Paula, getting married? Seriously?
That's right. Why are you acting so surprised? I finally found the right guy. Rich and good looking. How can I let that pass? I plan on having the biggest wedding ever.
Seriously?
Sorry to leave you behind, Martha.
I really don't care about that. I may be wrong about this, but can I ask you something? Is this the guy you stole from that girl? You're not talking about the same guy, are you?
Wow, you remember that?
So it's the same guy, huh? Wasn't this guy just about to get married and you stole him away from her at the last minute? Something like that, as I recall. Seems a little dodgy what you did.
Yeah, well, couldn't be helped. He fell in love with me. What can I say? Anyway, in the long run, I saved him from a loveless marriage. I did it out of kindness. I rescued him.
Yeah, right. Whatever. But all I can say is, it was sort of devious what you did. I really can't believe I was a childhood friend of yours. I mean, were you always like this? How did I put up with you all these years?
Stop yakking, would you? Isn't there something you should say to me on such a wonderful occasion?
What are you talking about?
We're childhood friends. We've known each other since grade school. You could be more accommodating.
Accommodating, huh?
Yeah, what's wrong with that? You could at least say congratulations. That's what friends usually say.
Oh, yeah, usually. But what you did was so outrageous that I didn't think it deserved approval.
What? How could you say that?
Please don't start. If there's nothing else, can we cut this short?
Martha, how could you say that? Just because you have no guy and no prospect of getting married, you don't have to be so rude. Just so you know, I'll be inviting you, part of the loser crowd, to my wedding, just so you can witness the winners of this society. I want you to get a good, long look at how happy and successful I've become. The winners crowd. Hey, I just received the RSVP invitation card. It says you're not attending. What's up with that? Just because you're a loser and have no boyfriend or prospects of getting one, you could at least celebrate my happiness. Like I said, we've known each other since grade school. It's the least you could do. I didn't even realize you were so petty. Envy is just oozing out of you. Cringeworthy or what? That's why you can't get a guy. That's why you can get married.
I left a message on the card. I'm really busy with work on that day. There's an important business meeting that I just can't get out of. Sorry. So, I won't be attending.
Excuse me? There is nothing more important than my wedding. You should give me precedence. With this job that's so important?
This concerns my business, and it's confidential.
Pardon me? You doing important work? Please. I get it. You made that stuff up so you would get out of attending. Is that it? I bet that's it.
I'm not making it up. It's work.
Oh, hey, I got a great idea. If you contribute $3,000 as a wedding gift to me, I'll introduce you to a really nice guy.
Excuse me?
I invited all my ex-boyfriends, so you can have your pick of the lot. There are some real good-looking guys. What do you say?
Wait, you're inviting all your ex-boyfriends. Are you serious?
Yeah, all these guys are super successful and great prospects going forward. To be honest, they're too good for you, but I'll do you this one favor. Contribute $3,000 and I'll give you one of these guys in return. Deal?
Right. You're going to give me a guy, is that what you're saying? Anyway, seems kind of strange to invite your ex-boyfriends to your own wedding. Nobody does that.
Really? Seems pretty normal to me. I just wanted to invite them because they probably want to celebrate my happiness, unlike someone I know.
Yeah, whatever. Sounds like it will be fun.
You bet! I'm the life of the party! Everyone will be having a great time. I bet you're thinking about attending, am I right?
You do realize I was being sarcastic. This whole wedding sounds like a disaster in the making.
Excuse me?
Anyway, no way am I attending. I'll deposit money into your account as a gift, so send me your bank account info. See you around, Paula.
Hey, Martha, I thought you said you weren't coming to the wedding, and yet here you are! I didn't realize it last night, but you were staying at the same hotel, right? Saw you coming out of your room, and dressed to the hilt in that cool-looking business suit. Where'd you get that? The wedding and reception hall is not far from your house, but you opted to stay in a hotel, huh? Didn't want to miss anything, is that it? Well, I don't blame you. No boyfriend and just getting older and older. Gotta do something before it's too late. Bet you really want an eligible guy. I understand perfectly, Martha. No need to be ashamed. So does that mean I can look forward to that $3,000? Once I verify that I got the $3,000, then I can introduce you to my ex. You won't regret it. Martha, are you there? Pick up! What the hell is going on? The guests!
What are you talking about? Besides, I'm really busy now.
None of the guests have arrived.
Excuse me?
Most of them said they were attending. Why? What's going on?
Guess they canceled at the last minute.
Yeah, that's right. This guy sent me a line message saying he planned the whole cancel last minute scheme. He left a message saying nobody is going to attend a wedding of such a despicable bride. And they all canceled. I can't believe this. How could they?
I actually saw all this coming. After 20 years of acting like some kind of queen and treating everybody like crap, this is the end result.
What the hell are you talking about?
Over the years, how many guys have you dumped? And how many times have you stolen guys away from other girls?
Excuse me?
Apparently, you invited all the guys that you stole from other girls and then dropped them later on, right? You invited not only your ex-boyfriends, but also their friends and relatives, right?
Yeah, so what? I mean, it's normal to commemorate a friend's wedding, isn't it? It's a happy occasion, a time to celebrate. Besides, this was a long time ago. The past is in the past.
I really don't think people forget so easily. That's why you're in this predicament.
They didn't have to go so far.
Yeah, right. Canceling at the very last moment is not a very nice thing to do, I must admit.
Yeah, right?
But if you consider all the reprehensible things you did all these years, well...
What are you talking about?
Stealing someone's fiancé? That is really low. That's bad enough, but then 3 days later you dump the guy, and you're back at targeting your next victim. You then do the same thing over and over. It's like you enjoyed this. It's like a game to you. You treat people like toys, completely disregarding their feelings. At first, I thought you had finally settled down, but then I find out that you got the guy playing the same old game. I doubt you will ever have a happy marriage after all that crap you pulled over the years.
Martha, get over here right now!
Pardon me?
I'm contacting everyone I can, everyone that can possibly make it. I want you to contact the others and bring them all here, and I mean right now. At this point, I don't care who comes. I just need at least 30 people to be here.
Impossible. I'm at work right now.
Are you still being stubborn? Get over here and help me work this mess out! You stayed at the same hotel as me. You are planning to attend, right?
I'm at the hotel because we're conducting an interview.
Excuse me? An interview?
Yeah, it was scheduled way ahead of time. Before you contacted me about your wedding. That's why I couldn't attend.
What the hell is this interview?
I started my own company about 5 years ago.
You started your own business?
Yeah, and business has been going well recently, and a TV news program wanted to do an interview with me. So, here I am.
Wait, what? That's what you've been doing all these years?
Yeah, what can I say? I thought your wedding was nearby, but I didn't figure it was the very same hotel and that you saw me coming out. What a coincidence, huh?
Are you serious?
So, sorry, can't make it over there. And about helping you gather up people, can't help you there either.
Then what am I supposed to do?
Why are you asking me? Anyway, I gotta go. See ya!
Martha, please. Martha, are you there? I need money. Please, can I borrow a little?
Pardon me?
That wedding the other day? Well, that was canceled, and then my fiancé dropped me. He said he no longer loved me. Go figure. And all those girls that I, stole their guys from, they're all demanding compensation for damages.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. That was about a year ago, right? You stole like 3 guys at the same time. Are those the girls that are suing you? As I recall, they were pressing charges back then, but you up and disappeared for a year.
Yeah, that was a year ago. I thought they all forgot about that.
And then you had to send out invitations to everyone. Those girls got a hold of it and tracked you down. Seems obvious.
Huh? Really? Is that how they found out?
You're not serious. You really thought they wouldn't find out?
Anyway, lend me some money, please. You have your own company, right? You must be loaded. Please, Martha, help out an old friend. Whatever you can spare, please. Oh yeah, that reminds me. If you lend me money, I'll introduce you to a really nice guy.
Oh, please, not that again.
I have a lot of guys around me. As you know, you can pick out your favorite.
I really don't need a guy.
But if you don't have a guy, it means you just get older and older, and before you realize it, you're a fat old lady with nobody. Lend me money and your dreams come true. What do you say?
Sorry to break this to you, Paula, but I'm already married.
Wait, excuse me? You're married?
Yeah, I married the guy I was dating since high school.
Huh? Seriously, since high school?
Yeah, that's right. Something wrong with that?
This is the first I'm hearing about this.
Yeah, well, I didn't tell you, so I guess you wouldn't know.
I wasn't invited to the wedding?
You really think I would invite you?
Huh? Seriously? Why wouldn't you?
Because I didn't want you there.
But
you really think I would tell you who my boyfriend was? After years of stealing other guys away. You really think I would introduce you? You're out of your mind.
yeah, well, I guess.
Anyway, I'm really busy now. I have to get back to work.
Hold it a second. The money!
Goodbye, Paula. I'm going to put a block on you. See you around. I later heard that Paula was in debt for like $100,000. I was wondering what her parents were up to when all this was going down. It turns out that her folks divorced 10 years ago and live separate lives, and she has no contact with them. I heard Paula was not even able to contact them for her own wedding, which ended in total disaster, of course. But, knowing Paula, she had no intention of working diligently to pay off her debts. What did she do? She tried to run off in the middle of the night, but failed miserably. All the people that sued her were aware that she would probably make a run for it, and kept a close eye on her. She was apparently taken to some factory up north, a live-in job, and made to work off her debts. Needless to say, her constant bitching didn't win her any friends, and I heard she just works every day, living a lonely and boring life.
Sam? Would you please stop asking my husband to withdraw such a large amount of money?
Good evening, Kumi. I'm sorry. What are you talking about? Large amount of money?
It's really no use pretending you don't know. I already know what you've been up to these days. You and your mother are taking way too much advantage of my husband. Well, I guess that my husband felt obligated to comply to your request as well, so I guess it can't be helped this time, but from now on, please refrain from doing that ever again.
Well, I still have no idea what you're talking about.
I don't think it's something that I have to explain to you, word for word. Just put a hand on your heart and take your time to think over what you've done. Think very carefully about living your life by sucking money out of my husband. Consider the shameful way of living in that way. Excuse me, then.
Josh, I just arrived. Oh, hi, brother. I'm glad you and Mom got back into the country safely. You're coming back the day after, right? That's right. The medical conference in Germany will finish tomorrow, so I'll head home when that's over. But to think that you let us accompany you for your medical conference so that we could enjoy sightseeing. When I first heard about it, I was so surprised. We had promised to take a trip together, but I didn't imagine us making an overseas travel. I wasn't able to fulfill our promise since I've been busy, so I thought this would be a good opportunity to do that. I couldn't spend as much as I would have liked, though, with you and Mom since I had to work. But there was a travel guide who spoke Japanese, right? Did things work out okay? Oh, that was so helpful. Both Mom and I couldn't speak German at all. Although it was the first time going overseas, I didn't feel so anxious and really enjoyed the time there. Thanks to you. I'm glad to hear that. Oh, I just remembered. When you are back in the country, could we get together? Yeah, of course. Is something up? There's something I want to talk about. About Kumi. About Kumi? Oh, is it something you mentioned earlier? Yeah, recently things have been getting worse. It also seems like she's been troubling you as well. Also, the matter I had asked someone to look into, that's been confirmed as well. I see. I'm sorry to trouble you when you must be tired from the trip. No worries. Then I should get prepared for the conferences tomorrow, so I'll message you again later. All right. Thanks so much for the trip.
Sam, aren't you and your mother really not embarrassed at all to be leading parasitic lives on your younger brother's money? Why don't you at least use your own money for the trip to Germany?
What? Oh, it's been a long time, Kumi. What do you mean by leading parasitical lives?
Do I have to explain everything to you? I know that Josh is a doctor and has a pretty good sum of money, but aren't you ashamed that you're using your brother's money to go overseas? Especially now that your brother has his own family? Don't you have any pride as his older brother? Or so he says.
Is that what you were referring to the other day?
Did you realize that just now? I am so shocked.
Well, as we had no intention of asking for his money.
But my husband paid for everything this time, didn't he?
That is true. But that was a promise we had made between Josh and I since a long time ago.
Oh my God, that is just unbelievable. You're telling me that you planned to get money out of him even before your brother was a doctor? I know that he already showed much promise for his career, but isn't that a bit too much?
No, that's not quite right.
Then what is it?
It's a little difficult for me to explain. When our father passed away, I was a senior in high school, and Josh was still in junior high. Because of our circumstances, I didn't go to college and started working right away after I graduated from high school. At that point, Josh already had a dream of becoming a doctor, so my mother and I decided that we would support him as much as we could.
Oh, so what you're saying is, because you supported him back then, you want him to help you out now that he's become a doctor. Basically, you want him to pay you back now. That's the promise you made, right?
No, that isn't how it is. I usually make sure that Josh doesn't spend his money for us. As for the trip to Germany the other day, it is true that Josh paid for our trip, but this is something that Josh had been saying he wanted to when he was able to graduate from medical school. And he did graduate. So that's how the trip finally happened. So this time, it was something special for all of us.
Well, however you frame it, it still doesn't change the fact that you let Josh pay for all your travel expenses. And also when you rebuild your house into an apartment.
What? That has nothing to do with Josh.
Really, these are the instances when one can see how stingy poor people can be. Please refrain from coercing Josh to give you money from now on. Never, ever again. Actually, never contact him again.
What? That is a bit too much.
Josh is my husband. I am the only one who can spend his money freely because I am his wife. If something like this ever happens again, I will not forgive you.
Kumi, I am getting a divorce.
What?
I'm getting a divorce from you.
Josh, what are you saying? Is this something to say over a message? What is going on here? I have no idea why you're saying such a thing.
And will you still not understand if I tell you that I am with my brother now?
What? With Sam? You told me it was your day off and you turned down my suggestion that we go out together.
That was so that I could see my brother.
Can it be that your brother is asking for your money again?
What?
This is enough. I warned him never to take money from you ever again. To think that he would have the nerve to meet up with you to ask for more money? Josh, don't you think you've had enough with a brother who is so poor and miserable?
What are you talking about?
There is also that matter regarding the trip you took with your brother and your mother to Germany. Also, a few months ago, they rebuilt their house into an apartment building, remember? Then they moved into one of the rooms in their apartment building and your brother became the owner and your mother is living with him, right?
Oh, that's right. What about it, though?
What do you mean, what about it, though? Your brother ordered you to pay for that money to rebuild that house into an apartment building, didn't he?
What?
Listen, I would understand if you became the owner of that apartment building since you gave out the money for it and you let your brother and your mother live there. That would be fine. But the owner of that building is your brother. That means that the income from the apartment rent goes straight into your brother's pocket. That is absolutely nuts.
Kumi, what are you talking about? The money spent on rebuilding that house into an apartment building was paid out by my brother.
What?
I gave them just $500 as a gift. How on earth did you arrive at such a misunderstanding?
What? Well, since your father died, your mother only worked part-time and is now living on her pension. As for your brother, he quit his company a few years ago and he's living off your mother's pension, right? How could those two possibly pay for rebuilding a house? The only relative who could provide them the money would be you, since you earn enough money as a doctor.
My brother is making as much money as I am now. While he was working at his company, he had a side job. Now that he can earn a good-sized income from that side job, he decided to quit his company and concentrate on his side job. Which means that he can work from home. You also have someone you know who works from home, right? Even though you knew someone who works from home, you automatically assumed that since my brother is spending most of this time at home, that he doesn't have a job. What you say is unacceptable. How absolutely thoughtless of you.
But your brother only graduated from high school, right? And the company he worked for was a very small-sized firm, no? How can someone like that manage to earn enough money as someone who works from home?
If there is something you're really good at doing and you can make it into a business, it's possible, depending on how hard you work for it. It would depend on the type of job, of course. Maybe one needs to get a license or a special training. As for my brother, he worked hard for it and made it work.
Then why didn't you tell me all of this before? You didn't tell me anything about the apartment building. You can't blame me for misunderstanding.
Listen, as for the plan to rebuild our house into an apartment building, that started way before we even started dating. As for the kind of work my brother is doing, I did mention it to you before.
What?
As for the trip to Germany the other day, I wanted to pay my brother and mother back for all the support they gave me when I was pursuing my dream of becoming a doctor. It's something that I offered them.
Well, support. Still, just because they helped you out a little bit over living expenses, paying for all the expenses for an overseas trip is too much.
My brother paid for 2/3 of my high school and medical school tuition,
What?
and 1/3 was from the insurance my father had for our education fee. But then my father died suddenly. My brother supported my mother, who was completely distraught. On top of that, he looked after me since I was a junior high school student at the time. And my brother was only 18 years old at the time. Just imagine what pressure he had at that time. To be honest, I don't think that taking him and mom for an overseas trip is not enough at all.
What? Are you still planning to give them money?
That is why I'm getting a divorce from you.
What?
You don't like it that I want to pay back my brother and my mother, right? But this is not so much that we have to lower our way of living.
What? But the trip to Germany? It's an overseas trip, so it's not just a matter of 500 or 1,000, right?
For that, I used the money that I had been saving up when I was still single. This is not something I should be blamed for at all.
But...
What is it with you, Kumi?
What? Me?
Do you think that I didn't notice anything?
What are you talking about?
The credit card that I gave you so that you can spend for our living expenses. You've used it to its maximum. Do you think I will continue to allow you to misuse the credit card like that?
But you told me you would let me be in charge of the household expenses.
I did tell you that I would ask you to handle our household expenses, but that did not mean that you could use the money freely. Let me tell you more. Do you think that I would tolerate you using the amount equal to my monthly income on your lover? Think again.
What?
Did you really think that I wouldn't notice anything? I can also see the credit card purchase history, you know. Things looked fishy, so I looked into it.
You were looking at the bill?
That is the so-called family credit card, so it's natural that I can also see the bill. To begin with, that money is withdrawn from my bank account. So if I didn't notice anything, that would be really funny, wouldn't it?
Oh, God.
Anyway, I hired a detective to find out if you really had a lover. I now have proof of it, so you can't deny it. I also can't forgive you for all the insults you said regarding my brother and mom. I'm divorcing you.
Wait.
What for?
What?
If you were telling me to wait on the divorce, I can't oblige.
Maybe we can talk over this.
As for that, we can do that through my lawyer.
A lawyer?
The contract for the apartment we are living in now is scheduled to be renewed in 2 months. So I decided not to renew it this time.
What?
I still have some things left in the apartment, so I will go back once. After I pack everything, I will be gone for good. I want you to get yourself out of the apartment as soon as possible.
What? Wait.
What do you mean, wait?
What? Well, that is...
If it has no meaning, it's just annoying.
Josh,
Please talk to my lawyer. Goodbye. A few hours after we exchanged messages, I headed over to my younger brother's place to move his things out. My brother's wife, Kumi, was not there. Well, it was good timing. I managed to get all of my brother's things out in that short amount of time. As for Kumi, it seems like she ran to her lover's place for help, and my brother has confirmed that fact. Her things have been sent, cash on delivery. and the lawyer also paid her a visit. A month later, everything was settled and the divorce was finalized. As for Kumi and her lover, they had to pay for the consolation money plus all the money they had spent together. It was a one-time payment. The amount came to $70,000. They had to take out a loan, but they couldn't ask for help from the relatives, so they got themselves into a fix. Now, they are living days of regret and hard work.